Hi, I'm Jason Hart. Setting up on a turkey and the way you set up is absolutely crucial. It can mean the difference in success or failure. What I like to do is anytime that I'm working a turkey, anytime I hear a gobbling turkey and I look for a place to set up, first thing I do is try to imagine where that turkey's gonna come. A wild turkey gobbler in the springtime wants to be on a stage. He wants to be where the hens can see him. He wants to be in an open spot. So whether that's a logging road, whether that's a trail, whether that's an open pasture, I like to have an open spot where I think my effective range to shoot that turkey is. Secondly, I like to have cover. And when I mean cover, I like to be camouflaged. I will spend a lot of time picking the perfect tree to have my back against. First off, I like to have that tree wider than my shoulder to provide, number one, camouflage, but from a safety aspect. I will use foliage to make sure and cover my front side as well as my back side. I carry clippers with me to use the natural vegetation to cover up any movement to make me look like I'm part of the woods. And then secondly, I use those clippers for a shooting lane. Anytime that you have an obstruction between you and the turkey, it can cause you to miss. It can cause those pellets to disperse. So I use clippers anytime I'm setting up for number one, cover, and then number two, for shooting lanes, because it's super critical in any type of setup. So anytime you set up, spend a little bit of extra time looking for that right tree, looking for that right rock, looking for that right topography where number one, the turkey's not gonna see you, and then number two, you're gonna have your optimum shot. Knowing that is gonna be your way to be most effective in the woods.
Hey, Cuz Strickland here with Mossy Oak, but setting up properly on a turkey is kind of getting to be a dying art. First off, you got to think about how much noise you're making, because if you could hear him, he can certainly hear you. You got to do a couple of things. You got to get in there quietly. If you heard a turkey and you made him gobble, and he may be 300, 400, 500 yards away, but your mind's already going into, all right, what do I need to get? You know, if you got options, you want the sun at your back. You know, you got to find a tree wider than you are to set up. And once you figure out, you think which way he's coming from, you got to be comfortable and you got to be very, very still. Try to stay in the shade no matter what. If the sun's up, find you a shady spot. You don't want to be sitting in the sun. Camo's a big deal. If you're blending in and breaking up your outline, sitting in the shade, becoming invisible, it's a really big deal. Get very comfortable and pay a lot of attention to your back cover. If you sit down by a big tree and it's just a wide open bottom behind you and that turkey comes up, he's scanning. He can see there's no hen back there. So try to get in a place. Maybe there's a little hill behind you, maybe there's some thick cover, but try to sit in a place where he can't see way past you. Be very comfortable and get in the shade. Just think of those 3 or 4 things when it's time for you to set up.